The NFL season is here. Get NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV and watch every game every Sunday, all in one place. Sign up today. Terms and embargoes apply.
Speeds are climbing high and fast. Racing dreams are built to last. Drivers ready, hearts are strong. Victory feels like a song. Wheels they spin, rubber burns. Corners come and swiftly turn. Drivers ready, hearts are strong. Victory feels like a song. Wheels they spin, rubber burns. Corners come and swiftly turn. Race to the finish line. Feel the rush, it's time to shine. Pushing metal, pure and fine. In this premium racing grind. Race to the finish line. Feel the rush, it's time to shine. Pushing metal, pure and fine. In this premium racing grind. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Grind. Uh-oh. Racing grind. Pit crew ready, tools in hand. Every second by a strand. Fuel and tires, quick change. Back to track and destined range. Pit crew ready, tools in hand. Every second by a strand. Strand. Fuel and tires, quick change. Back to track and destined range. Race to the finish line. Feel the rush, it's time to shine. Pushing metal, pure and fine. In this premium racing grind. Race to the finish line. Feel the rush, it's time to shine. Pushing metal, pure and fine. In this premium racing grind. Uh-oh. Grind. Uh-oh. Racing grind. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here with the beautiful premium stock car racing league here this evening from Old Atlanta Speedway. Now this is going to be a very, very interesting race. It's going to be a little bit wild. It's going to be a little bit crazy. Out there on the speedway, drivers are going to be slipping and sliding around the racetrack, trying to figure out how to navigate around this old, unresurfaced Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now we have seen this in real life. Atlanta get repaved. It's been resurfaced. And things move very, very fastly here at the new Atlanta Speedway, but the old Atlanta Speedway has a lot of characters, a lot of bumps, a lot of cracks in it. You're gonna see these drivers slipping and sliding and hopping around all evening long and just giving us some great racing action here this evening. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. And if you guys are just tuning in and you guys are ready to see these guys battle, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we'll get ready to set these drivers loose. Tonya coming in, showing the love with the smiles up in the chat over there on YouTube, coming in showing the big love here in this one as we get ready to set these drivers loose here. Qualifying underway. Drivers out there on the speedway laying down some of their quick times out there on the racetrack. We do see Thomas Horvath out there on the speedway in the number 54 ride, the NJB Designs machine. Josh Kreider and Jordan Kreider both out there as well, currently in that 15th and 16th spot here. To wait and see if this Energizer number 5 Fry can find a little extra speed, see if he can try to get himself a little closer to the front of the field, as right now Noah Blackwell in that top spot. He's in that pole position. Dylan Carrier, Aiden Lucas, Matthew Wood, and Trenton Johns are top 5 out there on the speedway. Down across the line, we'll see if Josh Kreider can get a little quicker here on lap number 2. He does find a little extra speed, jumps up into the 13th spot. Jordan Kreider up into the 11th position out there on the speedway. Grant Applegate in the Mountain Dew number 57 ride. He jumps out onto the racetrack, getting ready to start his qualifying efforts here on the evening. We do see the 8 ride down into the inside fence right there. That is Nathan Brookover, unfortunately, running into some issues. We'll see Applegate run into issues there as well. It's qualifying slowly but surely coming to a close here in this one. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump in and we're going to get you guys to get ready as Dallas says, I'm cheering for fresh tires. Let's go. And says Jay Logic coming in. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. As we're going to jump into our national anthem. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please rise and remove your hat as Landon Burbage of the Two Machine will give us our national anthem. Alrighty, shout out there for our national anthem brought to you by Landon Burbage here this evening as we'll get ready for our opening command. Lonnie Kreider coming in to drop the opening command here this evening.
Thank you very much. Another great night of racing. Thank the good Lord for another day that he gave us to race. Also continue to remember people, all the people was involved in a hurricane. So many destructions, so many things going on. Be with all of them. Our prayers go out to them. So gentlemen, have a great race tonight. Good luck. Be careful, start them engines, and go racing.
Alrighty, shout out there to Lonnie Kreider coming in and giving us the opening command here this evening as these drivers are getting lined up on the front straightaway. They're getting ready to play here this evening as they got that opening command. The engines are starting to fire and we'll start to see these drivers roll here on the front straightaway. Starting on the pole in the 9 ride, that is Noah Blackwell to his outside in the Phoenix Esports 88, the M&M's machine, that is Dylan Carrier. Starting in position number 3 in the 77, that is Aiden Lucas to his outside. In the 16, that is Matthew Wood. Starting in position number 5 in the 28 ride, that is Trenton Johns to his outside. In the Optic Texas, the Optic Gaming, the Scooby-Doo machine, that is Jordan Hand. Starting in position number 7 in the number 25 ride, that is William Connolly to his outside. In the number 2 is Landon Burbage. Starting on the inside of row number 5 in the 66 is the Oscar Mayer machine of Ben Gleason to his outside. The 29 of Chris Stinge will round out our top 10 here on the Speedway. Jordan Kreider, Ryan Haller there in 11th and 12th with Josh Kreider and Thomas Horvath there in row number 7 on the Speedway. Brian Underwood will start in the 15th spot. To his outside will be the 79 rider Danny White. Farrell Robbins, Scott Healy, Grant Applegate, and Kevin Winker will round out our top 20 here on the Speedway. Starting in 21st, that is Jaden Porter to his outside. In the 38 ride, that is Dallas Seaworth. Starting in 23rd is Nathan Brookover, and bringing up the rear of the field in the 87, that is Chris Gatz. 24 drivers ready to rock and roll as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly racing here from Atlanta Motor Speedway, door to door, down through quarter 1 and out of quarter number 2. It looks like the outside lane paying dividends here for the 88 of Dylan Carrier as we do see the caution flag fly right out of the get-go. Carrier was out in front. We'll have to wait and see if they score him that way or if they give that lead back to the 9 ride. Noah Blackwell is down the back straightaway. And out of corner number 2, we saw Nathan Brookover run into some issues here. So we saw Brookover running into issues during his qualifying as well. And here he is running into a couple issues right here. The Gaston's iRacing graphics ride is going to go around over to go for Jaden Porter, as Porter's going to get some pretty good front end damage there off of that contact. An early race caution flag as 8 right just looks like it snaps loose right here on him. And getting back into the throttle, starts to roll into it. Unfortunately, that rear end just kind of goes out and around, and he gets slung down the speedway, and all of a sudden right on top of the AG's Design 74, Jaden Porter. Heavy contact right there for Porter. Heavy contact for Brookover. Good piece of driving by Chris Getz to be able to avoid all that contact right there, as we'll hop right on board Chris Getz's ride and see what he can see from the cockpit. Sees that 8 ride shoot down the racetrack, and the contact there, and has to be very heads up, getting off the throttle, rolling through that, making sure he does not get collected in any of that contact and carnage there through corner number 2. As we'll get him ready to rock and roll, we'll get ready to go back to battle as Albert Anderson. Albert coming in with the love in the stream, coming in with that like on the broadcast here. Craig Michael Deacon with that thumbs up. Kevin Winker with the heart reaction. And Mama Bear Susie Dickinson coming in, showing the love as well with the like on the stream. Mama Bear says, come on, number 16, cheering on Mr. Matthew Wood out there on the speedway, as Kevin Winker in the chat as well says, hopefully we can end the bad luck in this league, laugh out loud. Need to take some of my talent from our HCK Beagles Tuesday night series to over here. Yeah, brother, you might need a little bit of that luck. You might need a little bit of that luck. I'm not sure what it is. I mean, I don't know if it's the car or the driving style or what it is, but unfortunately for Kevin Winker has not shown the amount of success that he has over on the HCK Beagles to this side here. As Brian Underwood says, you must have real dirt experience. Oh, yeah, he must. For Dylan to be leading this race, definitely has some real life dirt experience for certain, as Dylan says in the chat over there on YouTube, says P2 baby, let's go up to P1 now. As Albert Anderson says hashtag Winker Nation over there on YouTube. Tonya says previous champ fam, I'm the mom. You're the mom. Let's go. Let's go, previous champ fam. Let's go. I like it. Let's get it. We'll get these drivers figured out. Everyone lined back up. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing, and these guys will see if we can make it a full lap this time. Maybe this time we can make it into quarter number 3 before the caution flag. It's a big question. Big question. Will we make it that far? Do you guys think we'll see some green flag laps get put under here? Do you guys think we're going to see another caution flag as drivers continue to try to figure out this racetrack, try to figure out what they need here on the speedway to have a good run, to keep themselves pointing the right direction and out of trouble here in this race? As so far, Old Atlanta already claiming a couple cars, a couple drivers with some issues, a couple drivers with some pretty heavy contact. As Tonya says, great league, great drivers. Yeah, definitely some great drivers and a great league here for the premium stock car racing league, as these drivers are getting ready to go back to battle. They're getting ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one, as the pace car will make that hard left-hand turn back down pit side. We'll head down through the Geico restart zone, and Dylan Carrier quickly back onto the lap pedal. The 88 with a great launch right there, quickly opening up by a few car length lead down into quarter number 1, as Matthew Wood will follow him right on through. So it's now up into second, going to try to chase down that 88 ride. Z slides up the racetrack in front of the 9 machine. We are clean and green down through quarter 1 and 2, and we make it into quarter number 3 this time around. So down through 3, nice and easy through quarter number 4, in the first green flag lap here of the evening will be led by the 88 of Dylan Carrier. So Carrier out in front looking strong here at Old Atlanta's Matthew Wood. They're in second. The Beyond Detailing 77 ride of Aiden Lucas rolling there in that third position. Looking very solid out there on the speedway. Noah Blackwell, our pole sitter, unfortunately sliding back here to position number 4 on the racetrack. Is here comes that one ride. The Scooby-Doo machine out there on the speedway. The Optic Gaming, the Optic Texas number 1 ride looking very fresh out there on the speedway. This car is looking mighty fine. Look at this car, man. That is a beautiful looking ride, man. I don't know who did that or who made that, but my gosh, definitely a great looking machine here this evening. And the NJB Designs crew looks like they have put their hands into that one, making that paint scheme. And man, oh man, it looks absolutely amazing out there on the speedway. As Noah, that NJB Designs crewman, he is there in front of the one ride, so he gets to see the car that he made there in his rear view mirror. As Trenton John's a little farther back here in the 3G number 28 ride here in that 6th position. Landon Burbridge there as well in the Prince's Towing number 2 ride, rolling on the speedway. Then we see that number 66, the Oscar Mayer machine of Ben Gleason there in 8th. Chris Stage back there in 9th, and William Connolly sliding a few spots back here to start this race. The 25 now finds himself rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway. Brian Underwood already making some moves up 4 spots on the speedway here. So the 6th ride, the Gaston's iRacing Graphics Premium Stock Car Racing League number 6 machine up 4 spots into the 11th spot here. Looking to see if he can try to work himself even closer to the front of the field, as down almost working to his inside was last week's winner. That 64 ride. The sponsored by everybody machine, as I like to call it, the Coca-Cola Axe Clorox Energizer Continental Target number 64, rolling here in that 12th position. Scott's already picked up 6 spots on the racetrack as well, so he's definitely on his way towards the top 10. As Josh Kreider in that brand new beautiful Energizer card, rolling there in position number 13 on the speedway's got Thomas Horvath right there behind him. Then we see Ryan Haller in the 99. The Consumer Cellular number 99 machine rolling there in that 15th position. Dallas Seward also on the move towards the front here, up 6 spots early in this race in the Jordan. Toyota up into position number 16 here on the speedway, as he's got Grant Applegate right there behind him. The MTV Mountain Dew number 57 ride rolling there in position number 17. Jaden Porter back there behind him. Looks like still got a little bit of that front end damage for the 74, but not too bad, and still rolling out there in that 18th spot of the speedway. Danny White, the Jack Daniels 79 ride, rolls there in 19th, and the Baskin-Robbins Farrell Robin number 76 machine rolling there in the 20th spot. Winker Nation, Kevin Winker and the Muleburger Custom Homes Camaro rolling there in position number 21 on the speedway, with the 8 and Nathan Brookover, the 87 of Chris Getz, and the 69 of Jordan Kreider bringing up the rear of the field here in this one. It's out in front, it's still the Phoenix Esports. Number 88, the M&M's, the beautiful Kyle Busch kind of throwback paint scheme here this evening. 8 is Dylan Carrier, who's at the front of the field. Matthew Wood right there behind him, the Racers for Christ. Number 16 machine rolling there in position number 2 with Aiden Lucas still hanging on to that 3rd spot. The Beyond Detailing 77 Camaro looking fresh as always out there on the speedway. I like how he's got the pink Beyond Detailing logo on the side of the car. We still got the blue Beyond Detailing bumper sticker here in this one. He's got to change that other logo there. It doesn't fit the rest of the paint scheme here. He's that pink logo on the back and not the blue, as it kind of just rules it off, or else this car would be absolutely pristine, absolutely perfect, but looking very good right now nonetheless in that 3rd spot, as we do see a pass for the race lead here. Matthew Wood making the move as Dylan Carrier gets up the racetrack here. Actually looks like he may have gotten up into the fence. We'll take a look at this one as it's up a little high, gets up, scrubs that wall. 16 down low, just going to pedal right on through against that white line, and he will make that pass. So new race leader here on the evening, Matthew Wood, now to the front of the field. So Wood leads the way. Dylan Carrier sliding back to second. Now feeling some pressure as that 77 of Aiden Lucas right there behind him. A little farther back, we do see that 9 right of Noah Blackwell still in fourth, in the 1 of Jordan Hand right there behind him, rounding out our top 5. Landon Burbage up into 6 as Ben Gleason there in 7th. The 28 of Trenton Johns trying to hold on to the 8th spot as Chris Stange works down to his inside. We get a new driver inside our top 10 and already looking to move a little farther forward here on the racetrack, trying to go 3 wide down and out of corner number 2 as Trenton Johns up on the high side trying to hang on to 8th Chris Getz, that is Chris Stange, and the 64, Scott Healy trying to jump up and take that 8th spot away from the 28. It's a great run, though, that time through 3 and 4. Looks like he'll hang on to that 8th position. They get a little bit more single file right here down the front straightaway as William Connolly on the outside of the top 10 looking in. But it's a great battle brewing here. Scott Healy trying to work himself underneath of the admin box, number 29 of Mr. Chris Stange. Stange trying to hang on to this nice spot, but still trying to go after this 28. And as they continue to battle, they're starting to reel in Landon Burbage and this 66 of Ben Gleason. They're starting to fall back to the clutches of the rest of our top 10 out here on the speedway as Dylan Carrier going to slide back another spot here. Carrier slides back to 3rd and Aiden Lucas now into 2nd. And you see that 16 right on Matthew Wood really starting to stretch out his lead here this evening. So Wood out in front by 0.8 of a second down into corner number 3, trying to stretch out that lead more and more and more as Aiden Lucas right there in tow trying to hunt him down. Dylan Carrier back there in position number 3, trying to hang on to that 3rd spot as Noah Blackwell all over his back bumper. And here comes the 1 ride of Jordan Hand as well. They got him at a 2nd and a bit back till you see the pair of orange rides. That is Landon Burbage and that 66 of Ben Gleason. And a little bit of contact, a little squirrely there out at corner number 2 for Chris Stange. And Stange and the 28 going to come together. Contact up the racetrack goes the 28. William Connolly and Brian Underwood collected here in this one. Heavy contact for these drivers. Caution flag number 2 on the speedway. See that left front and right rear damage here on the 6th ride. Brian Underwood trying to get this car down pit road. Doesn't look like he's got any steering left in this thing. This car's just bouncing around. He's trying to get it down pit road. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get it down there or not. May have to tow that car, and that's exactly what he's going to do. A heartbreaker right there for Brian Underwood. A heartbreaker for Trenton Johns up inside the top 10 here for this entire run. But watch the 29 underneath of him here. Out at corner number 2, we saw this live. The 29 gets very loose right here. Maybe even a little contact between himself and that 28. Chris Stange trying to figure it out, trying to get this car pointed back in the right direction. He's still fighting with it all the way down the back straightaway until about this point kind of gets straightened out. Now, I'm not sure if the 29 kind of comes up, the 28 kind of comes down. They just kind of run out of room, and the 28 machine of Trenton Johns is going to go right over the nose of this 29 machine. They both go down onto the apron, and as they're on the apron, kind of just get bounced around. All that momentum pushes them back up the racetrack. Look at Connolly on the binders, seeing it, trying to get out of it, hoping that he could get stopped and avoid the contact. Unfortunately, it's a little too late as heavy damage there for Underwood. Heavy damage for the 25 of Connolly and a ton of contact there as well for the 28 of Trenton Johns. You see Underwood and Connolly make more contact there as well as, man, such a good drivers right there, just getting absolutely tore up. Let's see if we can jump on board here with Trenton Johns and see what he can see from the cockpit. As there's the contact down the racetrack. He's turning that wheel, trying to correct it. Unfortunately, he corrects and goes right up the speedway. And honestly, I think he got barely minimal damage compared to what Brian Underwood and this number 20, no, not 28, the number 54 ride got right there, or actually 25, that's the number I was looking for. Oh, man, that is a tough hit right there for Brian Underwood, man. That is definitely not the way he wanted things to go in this one. It's just coming down the back straightaway. He sees it happening, sees that contact. He's hoping that he can kind of get that speed, build that momentum up, and get around these drivers. And hoping that they would stay down low. Unfortunately, they do not stay down the apron as the 28 shoots back up the racetrack. Look at the contact, the force of these guys all come together up there on the hindsight of the speedway. The hood flying off there on that 6 ride, and then just tons of damage here for him and the number 25 ride. And you can see he's trying to get this car to turn, but the wheel, I don't even think is going to turn here. This car just dead straight comes back up the racetrack, going to bounce off that outside fence back down the track. He's going to end up making more contact here with that wall, and that is a heartbreaker right there for Brian Underwood, trying to have himself a good day here at the Speedway, and things going astray in a quick hurry as you'll take that car down pit side, looking to get a lot of repairs done to it. Unfortunately, he is multiple laps down here in this one as we'll get him stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Matthew Wood, Aiden Lucas, 1 and 2 on the Speedway. You see Wood is going to elect to choose the outside lane here for the restart. He's got Noah Blackwell there behind him and Dylan Carrier rounding out our second row. You see that one right at Jordan Hand, the number 2, Landon Burbage back there in 5th and 6th. Sky Healy, Ben Gleason there in row 4 is down through the Geico restart zone. We go back to Green Flag Racing here in this one. Quickly, Wood back onto the lounge pedals. Noah Blackwell there in position number 2. And we're getting closer and closer to our first stage. Our first stage going to end at lap number 35, and lap number 80 will be stage number 2 here this evening. We've got a lot of racing left to go here this evening. Only 23 laps in of 167 out there on the Speedway. And man, it seems like we've already, we've been around for a while, you know. It feels like we've been here for quite a while, for only 23 laps being completed here, 24 the next time by the start finish line. Wood is still in front, continue to lead the way here in this one. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, please make sure you guys do us a favor, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as more contact down the back straight away. No caution flag on the Speedway. We'll have to take a look back and see what happened. Does it look like Danny White in the 54, Thomas Horvath, kind of got tied together here. Look at the damage on this number 79. See the black smoke rolling out of both of these rides. Oh, man, that is a heartbreaker right there for the 79 machine. A heartbreaker for the 54 as well, as both these drivers are going to take their cars down pit side. Let's see if we can play this back and take a look and see what happened. We saw them come together down the back straightaway and hard down into the inside fence. So Thomas Horvath, Danny White going to run into some issues here as see Danny gets loose out of the corner, shoots down the racetrack, corrects that car, unfortunately comes back up and right into that left rear quarter panel of Thomas Horvath, and watch these two drivers come right on down and into the wall here. Heavy damage for both drivers, man. That is a couple heavy hits. Two tore up race cars and no caution flag, so that's going to put them down pit side here for an extended period of time, and unfortunately they're going to be down here for a little while. They're going to have a lot of work to do on their cars to try to get these things back out there onto the Speedway and back up to speed, or even being able to contend here on the evening. You also see that 6 rider, Brian Underwood, still down pit side. Look at the smoke coming out of Danny White's number 79. Ryan, the crew going to work here. Looks like they have got that little bit of smoke under control. They're throwing some new tires onto that car and hoping that he can get rolling here back onto the Speedway with very minimal damage. There you go. He is going to start rolling here onto the racetrack. Is out in front. We do get a new race leader here. Applegate going to jump up and take this lead away. So Brent Applegate may be a fresh set of tires on this number 57 run. He's been able to pick him off here in a quick hurry and see him down the back straightaway. Use these fresher tires to his advantage. Look at the run that he gets here. Down that back stretch, goes from third up into second and down into quarter number 1. He's just going to steamroll right on by our race leader. So Applegate now out in front of the field, showing these drivers how to get it done, and he is stretching that lead out more and more and more. Applegate may be looking for some stage points, maybe a stage win here to try to earn himself those extra points towards the premium stock car racing playoffs here this evening. As you do see Matthew Wood in the 2 ride, looks like they are going to battle door to door here, and we'll go back to single file down into quarter number 3. So Wood holds on to second. Landon Burbage there in position number 3, but look at the 29. A big run from Chris Stange. Stange rolling right around these guys as well. What a run down the front straightaway at quarter number 4 for the 29 as the admin box machine jumps up into second. You'll see Scott Healy back here as well in that 64. So Healy trying to work himself around that number 16 and the 2 machine as well on the speedway. Noah Blackwell back there in 6 as Jordan Hand rolls there in 7. Kevin Winker up into the 8th position with Aiden Lucas back in 9th, the 66 of Ben Gleason, rounding out our top 10 here on the racetrack. As Grant Applegate leads the way, we get closer and closer to our green and white checkered flag here. We get closer to seeing these drivers in their first stage break of the evening. As Zach Lockett, my boy Zach, coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream. Mama Bear Susie Dickinson again says, let's go number 16. Cheered on Mr. Wood out there on the speedway. Elver Anderson over there on Facebook as well says, hashtag Winker Nation. Let's get it, baby. Let's go. Chad is out in front. Grant Applegate going to click off another lap, and he's looking to try to take this car in to victory lane here, trying to put himself into the winner's circle here this evening, or potentially maybe put himself into you know, maybe just a stage win, maybe just trying to pick up as many stage points as he can here, knowing that the playoffs are coming in a quick hurry here. All these drivers trying to earn some extra points, whether or not they're trying to race their way into the playoffs. We saw this 57, who already picked up a win here on the year, so he's locked in. All he's looking for is some stage points and extra points to go towards his playoff run. We take a look back through the field. We do see the number 2 ride still battling here as well. He's got that number 9 right there on his back bumper of Noah Blackwell. Blackwell trying to put himself up inside the top 5 here. We got a good shot here of Mr. Blackwell out there on the speedway. Let's take a look here. We'll get his webcam up and onto the screen to give you guys a good look, a good view into Noah in the gaming room, the bedroom, whatever he's racing in here. He's locked in. He's in the setup. He's rolling out there on the speedway, hoping to try to find something here late in this stage to try to move himself a little farther forward. Maybe earn that extra point out there on the speedway. His hopes of trying to drive this 9 ride into our playoffs here this evening. And maybe on the year, as we're getting closer and closer to the start of our playoffs, only a couple races away from the playoffs getting started here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Down across the line, we will see lap number 35 go up onto the board here. So I do believe we may see that caution flag fly in just another little bit. I do believe they're going to complete this 35th lap on the speedway. So let's wait for the next time around the racetrack. Is Grant Applegate out in front, a 2.25 lead between himself and Chris Stange. We'll take it nice and easy down through 3 and out of quarter number 4. Stage win number 1 gonna go to the 57 of Grant Applegate. So Applegate gonna pick up that first stage win here on the evening as Chris Stange there in second. And we see Matthew Wood back there in third, Landon Burbage there in fourth, Sky Healy, Noah Blackwell, Jordan Hand, Kevin Winker, Farrell Robbins, and Aiden Lucas picking up that final stage point here in this one. Unfortunately for Gleason, Kreider, Carrier, Connolly, and Porter, they're all on the outside of stage points looking in. As top 10 will earn some stage points. Everybody else gets a 0 there for that first stage of the evening. As Grant Applegate going to pick up that stage win here in this one. We'll see if we can get Applegate up and into the broadcast booth here. I'm not sure if he's in the Discord or not. Let's take a look and see if we can get Applegate in here. Do not see Applegate in the Discord. So unfortunately we cannot pull in. Oh, no, there he is. All right. We do have him in here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to pull in our stage 1 winner on the evening, Mr. Grant Applegate. We'll pull Grant up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Grant, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Grant, in a great first stage here for you. A little bit of strategy there. Did you come down pit side there during that last caution break? Maybe put some fresh tires on it, or were you just kind of riding around there for the first 20 laps or so, trying to save these tires for this late race run in stage number 1 to put yourself here into the stage 1 winners bracket?
No, I just pitted for tires. I was going to be the last guy on old tires, so I said I'd rather pit than be on defense of all the people. So
Absolutely, definitely not a bad strategy. Able to get down there, get those fresh tires. You work yourself up in through the field. You take that race lead away, and you run away with the first stage here on the afternoon. Not only earn yourself extra points towards the regular season championship or to be able to make yourself a way into the playoffs, but you also earn that extra, playoff point as well. That's the important one here this evening for you. Trying to get as many, extra bonus points here in these last couple of races of the season before we go to our playoffs.
yeah, I know I'm locked into the playoffs, so I seen an opportunity to possibly get a stage point by pitting for tires. So I said, screw it, let's see what happens. Took tires, and thankfully I was able to drive all the way to the front, as you've seen. None of the other guys on new tires got through the pack as quick as I did, so thankfully I was able to win the stage. So in my opinion, the 1 point is worth it, even though I'm going to lose a set of tires for the rest of this race.
Absolutely, but big game racing out there, knowing that you got to try to stack those pennies and get as many points as possible here towards our playoffs here. Is each and every point going to be oh so valuable? And just like real life racing, we've seen drivers get eliminated by that one singular point, and to be able to have that extra one in your back pocket throughout the playoff run here this year is going to be very important. So congrats on going out there, using that strategy, and putting yourself in position to earn that extra playoff. Thank you very much. Grant, enjoy the rest of your evening. Hopefully we'll see you back up here in the broadcast booth, and maybe up here for another stage win, and maybe for another race win here at the end of the year.
Let's hope so.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our stage 1 winner, Grant Applegate, as Applegate picks up that first stage win here on the evening. All these drivers coming back down pit side, except for that 42 of Kevin Winker. So Winker Nation going to get ready to restart here from that pole position. So the Muehlberger Custom Home Sonic Graphic Designs number 42 will start here out in front, but there you go. He's just going to lead a lap, and he'll go down pit side here himself. So the Muehlberger ride headed down pit road as Chris Stange will consume that race lead. So Stange now leads the way with Applegate, Matthew Wood, Scott Healy, and Landon Burbage rounding out our top 5 out there on the speedway. As we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cheer on your favorite driver here. Let us know in the comment section who you want to see up in victory lane here this evening. Who do you want to see win this race? And we'd love to see where, cheer for, who everyone wants to see pick up the win here this evening. And don't forget to smash that thumbs up button on the broadcast as well. As we get ready to rock and roll, we get ready to set these drivers back loose. Looks like Chris Stange gonna choose the outside lane here. So seems like that is the fire lane for these drivers on the restarts. We've seen the 16 ride of Matthew Wood choose that outside lane. We saw Dylan Carrier choose it on his restart out in front. So it's going to be interesting to see, who's going to be that driver to kind of keep themselves out there on that high side groove, especially on these restarts. And I think it's going to pay dividends to be up there. We'll have to take a look and see if Stange can kind of open up a bit of a lead. Maybe try to see if he can run away with Stange win number 2 on the evening. And stage number 2 will come to a close. Oh, little tire spin there out of Applegate. Applegate getting back onto the throttle, spins those tires. We're going to go 3 wide here for about that 3rd spot as Aiden Lucas around the outside of that 16. And the 57 quickly going to move himself back up into position number 4. He's all over the back bumper here. Jordan Hand trying to look down. Oh, man, Aiden making a great run right there. It's out in front. Stange got that jump that he was looking for, got that run, obviously having the 57 to Applegate spin his tires down low. That kind of blocked that whole bottom lane, really killed a lot of their momentum and trying to get up to speed, and that allows that outside lane to kind of just roll right on by to move. Stange still out in front. Scott Healy up 16 spots there in position number 2. Aiden Lucas there in 3rd, and Matthew Wood back up into position number 4 here on the speedway as Jordan Hand slides back to position number 5. He's got Landon Burbidge, Josh Kreider, the 25 rider William Connolly, even after that contact, and they get tore up there in that second caution flag of the evening. The 25 ride finds himself a way back up inside the top 10. Applegate sliding back after that tire spin, unfortunately now all the way back in position number 9 here on the Speedway as the 9 Noah Blackwell there in the 10th spot here on the Speedway. Ben Gleason, Dylan Carrier, Farrell Robbins, Ryan Haller, our top 14 with Jaden Porter, Chris Getz right there as well. Then we see Jordan Kreider back here in 17th, Kevin Winker there in 18th with Nathan Brookover, Dallas Stewart, Trenton Johns, Thomas Horvath back out there on the Speedway as well as Danny White. Still down pit side, Brian Underwood down pit road as well. Horvath, though, down multiple laps in that number 54 line as he rolls in the 22nd position. Trenton Johns also down a lap or multiple laps here as well in this number 28 ride. He rolls in the 21st spot as Dallas Seward is the last driver on the lead lap here. So a tough break for Dallas Seward as he's back in the 20th spot, but still on the lead lap and hoping to stay that way throughout this race is Landon Burbidge right here rolling in that 6th spot. Lucy Evans and Noah Blackwell. Lucy Josh Kreider here in this Energizer number 5 ride. Let's see if we can get a good look here at this 5 ride, man. This is a beautiful looking Energizer machine out there on the Speedway. The rubbered up production ride rolling there in position number 11 on the Speedway. Let's see if we can jump on board here with Josh Kreider, as Kreider's got a couple different camera angles for us. And man, these things look absolutely amazing. So get a good look here at Kreider in the cockpit, rolling here on the Speedway. Get a good look at how focused he is, how he's rolling around the Speedway. But you also get that foot cam. You get to see what his feet are doing, how he's navigating through this race, how he's trying to keep these drivers back there at base. So a really cool, really good perspective here on this 5 ride and what he's doing out there on the Speedway. Let's see if we can jump right in here to a cockpit view, go for a ride around for a lap or two with this 5 ride of Josh Kreider. As Kreider rolling back just outside the top 10, looking to try to work himself back inside the top 10 here on the Speedway. As you do see our race leaders there off in the distance. Chris Stage still out in front with Sky Healy and Matthew Wood there in tow. Aiden Lucas, Jordan, and our top 5 on the racetrack for this 5 ride of Josh Kreider rolling around the Speedway. Here in about the 12th position on the racetrack. That is the 88 of Dylan Carrier right there in front of him. The 66 of Ben Gleason, the 9 rider Noah Blackwell. All right, there is Farrell Robbins back behind him, trying to find a way around this 5 ride here himself. But a great look, a great perspective on what Mr. Kreider is doing out there on the Speedway. And now he's navigating around this racetrack, trying to find as much speed and also trying to play a little bit of a safety game here, trying to keep these tires underneath of him, trying to make sure that he doesn't do that too much. We just saw there out of the front windshield, the 88 ride really getting sideways, sliding there out of corner number 4. That's what really tears up the tires here at Old Atlanta, as this concrete can really just chew up the tires out there on the racetrack. But a huge shout out there to Josh Kreider for having not only the webcam but the foot cam on for us, and a huge shout out to all of our drivers, all of our competitors here having their webcams turned on. We'll get a great look at all these drivers with their webcams up in the video over there, man. They're gonna look at all these drivers, man. These guys coming in solidly, coming in and putting on such a good show for us, man. Not only if they're on the racetrack, but having these webcams turned on, giving us a good, cool perspective on what they're doing here, in their cockpits, in their gaming rooms, their living rooms, wherever it is that they got their setup at, man. It doesn't matter what the surroundings are. These guys are, they're locked in. They're immensely just connected here with the simulator, really feeling everything that these cars do have to offer, man. They can feel everything, all these bumps, everything else through their arms, through their shoulders, their footwork, and everything else, man. It takes a lot to try to put yourself into the winner's circle here, especially with this talented group out there on the racetrack. Is Kreider trying to keep himself rolling here on the Speedway now, trying to hold off that 76 ride, is right there to his inside lane. That is that 76 ride of Farrell Robbins. Robbins trying to work up into the 12th position. Grinder trying to hang on to it as out in front. We see a great battle here between our top two drivers. That number 64 ride. Scott Healy continuing to work down to the inside here of our race leader, the admin box. Number 29, Chris Stage trying to hang on to this race lead. Look at the run he gets here down the front straightaway as he gets just ever so close in front of that 64 ride. But Scott Healy working the wheel hard here in this one, trying to get around this 29 of Chris Stage. Stage trying to stay in this top spot, but down across the line. Oh, it's too close to call, but I think Scott Healy will be our new race leader here on the evening. And they got to be careful they don't do something quickly, because here comes Matthew Wood. Wood in that 16 quickly, trying to take a look down low. Was thinking about trying to take this 3 wide. Thought better of it. Slides back up here in that third spot. Now going to try the outside lane. Woo! Man, Wood is taking some big moves here, trying to find some big runs, and with these two battling, right in front of them, not a whole lot of room for them to go around stuff. And here you go, they're going to go right around that 38 ride. Is unfortunately for Dallas Seward. Seward trying to hang on to it, and unfortunately, any damage. Doesn't look like a flat tire on this 38, but maybe some wheel damage, or maybe just something going astray here in that 38 right. He's been off the pace ever since that restart and continues to slide farther and farther backwards. See how much he's off the pace here compared to the rest of these competitors. And unfortunately for the 38 of Dallas Seward, he will go a lap down now, so that's a heartbreaker for him. We also see the 28 of Trenton Johns down pit road here, getting some more repairs done to the 28. Looks like he's actually going to take that car off the speedway. Thomas Horvath back out there rolling. He's actually going to pick up that spot, so move Trenton Johns now back to position number 22. Danny White a few more laps down behind the 28 ride. Will now have an opportunity to maybe leapfrog that 28 and put himself into the 22nd position. But these drivers that are back here multiple laps down, unfortunately, they're going to have to look for a lot of other drivers to run into issues and leave this race or be down pit side for even more laps than they are. I don't think we're going to see enough caution points where any of those guys, except for maybe Dallas Seward and Thomas Horvath, will be able to get their lap back here in this race. But right now, Dallas Seward, first car, 1 lap down out there on the racetrack. He's in that free pass position. He's in that lucky dog spot, and he's got quite a little while here until the 8 ride of Nathan Brookover is going to go a lap down. So, even though Seward is in that down a lap out there on the racetrack, man, Nathan Brookover, he's only about 13 seconds behind our race leader. So, he's still got a lot of laps before he's going to have to, worry about being a lap down himself. And I don't think he's going to even be able to have to worry about that if he keeps up that pace. So, right now, lap 57, lap 80 will be the end of stage number 2. So, I don't think there's a whole lot of sweat there for the 8 rider. Brookover to stay on the lead lap, and for the number 38, all he's really got to do is just trying to pick up the pace a little bit and hope to try to see if he can stay at least 1 lap down. You fall 2 laps down or 3 laps down, it's going to get tougher and tougher for him to try to claw back into this race. But for right now, if he kind of stays on this 1 lap down towards that lap 80 marker, could get that free pass back on the lead lap, and as long as he's not the caution flag himself, gets very loose there, down through 1 and 2, almost went around, was able to save it, keep that car pointed in the right direction here, and he's struggling out there on the racetrack right now. It's upbringing for Dallas out there on the speedway. As out in front, we do see a race change, or at least a race lead change here on the evening. Words are tough as Matthew Wood jumps out in front of the field here. So Wood able to finally get himself away around that 64 Scott Healy and the 29 of Chris Stage. Stage actually sliding back down to that 7th spot on the speedway. So Wood out in front once again. Here comes Aiden Lucas. Lucas will jump back up into position number 2. The 64 Scott Healy there in 3rd. Jordan Hand back there in position number 4. Then we see Landon Burbage, Will Connolly, Chris Stage, Noah Blackwell, Dylan Carrier, and Ben Gleason round out our top 10 here on the speedway. we get down to the nitty-gritty here in this one. Stage number 2 going to come to a close in about 20 laps from now. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what we're going to do is we're going to crank up that volume and let you guys cheer on your favorite drivers. We crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite driver. beautiful cranked up session right there. These drivers giving us a great look in the sights and sounds around the beautiful Atlanta Motor Speedway here this evening. Giving up for all these drivers is a beautiful crank it up. Going to come to a close right there as out in front, leading the way. It is not these three. It's not the 64 of Healy, the 16 of Matthew Wood, or the 77 of Aiden Lucas. It is the 57 ride of Grant Applegate, once again playing some strategy, looking to see if he can pick up stage win number 2 here on the evening. Kevin Winker there in second, Jordan Hand in third. William Connolly back here in position number 4, but Applegate out in front has quite a big lead here, and the laps are clicking down. Stage number 2 getting closer and closer to the checkered flag, and Grant Applegate looking to see if he can pick up this stage win as well. As Applegate at the front of the field, down and across the line, I do believe we'll see that checkered flag flying next time around. So he's got one more lap to try to get it done here in stage number 2 on the evening. Now he hasn't come down pit side trying to save that extra set of tires, but he's got a huge lead now between himself and the number 42 of Kevin Winker. Winker trying to play this strategy as well. They're in second. Here you go. You see some of those drivers that came down pit side, made those green flag pit stops during our Peacemaker Gaming crank it up. But Winker and Applegate gonna play that strategy kind of perfectly here. Is down and out at corner number 4 across the line. Stage win number 2 is gonna go to Grant Applegate here as well. So Applegate there in the top spot will pick up that stage win. I do believe Kevin Winker already off the throttle, coming home in second. Scott Healy will be there in third. Matthew Wood, William Connolly, Aiden Lucas, Jordan Hand, Noah Blackwell, Dylan Carrier, Chris Stange, our top 10 here on the Speedway for stage number 2. Yeah, unfortunately, Austin cheered on Trent out there on the Speedway, said, oh wait, he wrecked. He did wreck. Unfortunate break there for the 28 ride of Trenton Johns. He's actually off the Speedway here and not out there on the racetrack. Same with, we do see Brian Underwood back out there, so good to see Underwood back out onto the racetrack rolling here. Unfortunately for Underwood, getting tied up in that first caution flag of the day. Tons of damage there for him. He did not come back out onto the racetrack. Trenton Johns also down pit side and off the Speedway. Nathan Brookover already on pit road, and same with a few of these other drivers. See Jaden Porter down there, Kevin Winker, Grant Applegate. So I think what the big issue was for these drivers is that they were getting very, very close on fuel, trying to run that strategy of not coming back down pit side there to finish off that stage. So with that being said, it'll hand the race lead back over to Scott Healy. Healy out in front here. I do believe we're going to get ready to see all of these drivers head back down pit road. So some more strategy games, some more big plays there for Applegate. That picks him up stage win number 2 here on the evening, as well as Applegate already down and out of his pit stall and done his pit stop. We'll see if we can pull this number 57 right back up into the Peacemaker Gaming broadcast booth here for another stage win. See if we can get him up here, chat. See if we can get him up here. Hey Grant, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Gaming booth again. Do you get a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, Grant, mission accomplished here in the second stage. You said you wanted to go in there trying to earn more of these stage points. You were able to get that first one on some pitch strategy, and it looks like a little bit more of the same here in stage number 2. And your first car across the line, picking up the second stage win on the night.
Yeah, I seen that the first stage, we could go like 35, 36 on fuel. And I figured with how slow we get at the end of the run, it wouldn't be that hard to save the 4 laps, I think's what it was, 3 or 4 laps. So yeah, I just, from the drop of the flag, just kind of took it easy. And then once everybody kind of single filed out, I started clutching in on entry of the turns to let people by. So yeah, I was able to save the gas and win the stage.
Absolutely. So win for stage 1 and stage 2 here for the 57 machine. Now we talked there after that first stage win, getting that set of tires and using up a set of tires here earlier than everybody else. did that longer run right there, not coming down pit side for green flag pit stops, did that kind of give you that, balance out the tire wear here a little bit, giving each of you guys a little bit of the same amount of tires out there on the race?
Oh yeah, that was the other thought behind it, was I was a set behind, so if I saved a set there when everybody else pitted and took tires, then I'm back even with everybody. So end of the race should be interesting. I think I've got a good enough car to win. I just got to get the track position back after all my strategy.
Absolutely. So far, you've been able to do everything you set out to do here this evening, and I won't be too surprised when we see you potentially up here in victory lane after the next run here this evening. Congrats on the first for the stage win here in stage 1 and stage 2. And hopefully, we'll see you back up here in the broadcast booth in just a little bit.
Hope so. Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Grant Applegate, picking up stage win 1 and 2 here on the evening, giving himself some pretty good playoff points here, and still able to try to roll out there on the speedway, maybe try to earn some extra points here as well, and see if he can try to get himself up towards the front of the field, maybe pick up a win here, since he's got a car that could potentially win this race, now being on the same tire strategy virtually as everybody else. It kind of balances out the game a little bit more for this 57 ride. So we'll have to wait and see if he can try to get that track position, work himself to the front of the field, see if he can be there at the end and maybe put himself up in the victory lane. So far, the strategy's worked out perfectly here. The Mountain Dew number 57 ride as Scott Healy is our race leader. He's electing to choose the inside lane here on the restart. Now, we normally see the last quite a few restarts, race leader choosing the outside lane. This time he's going to give it to Matthew Wood. So Wood will start there in second on the outside. Healy out in front. We'll start down low here for the start of our final stage of the evening. William Connolly, after getting tied up and tore up there in our second caution flag on the evening, he rolls here in position number 3 to his outside as Aiden Lucas there in 4th. Noah Blackwell, Dylan Carrier there in 5th and 6th, with Chris Stage in the 2 ride of Landon Burbage rounding out our top 8. Ryan Holler in the 99 rolls there in 9th in the 66 of Gleason, rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway as Kreider, Hand, Applegate, Jordan Kreider, Kevin Winker, our top 15 here on the Speedway, all getting ready to go back. The green flag racing is down through the Geico restart zone. We will go back to battle here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Scott Healy out in front, leading the way, showing these drivers how to get it done here in this one as he quickly pulls out in front, uses that inside lane to perfection, and gives himself a decent couple car length lead between himself and Matthew Wood. Wood trying to reel him in, though, trying to get back to the rear bumper of the 64 ride, the 64. Trying to hold him off as Healy will lead another lap, but Matthew Wood already trying to take a look down to his outside, taking this big run to the high groove here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And right there behind him, see a great battle for position number 2 brewing here as well. Aiden Lucas down low, the 25 right of William Connolly up through the middle, and he's going to use that momentum to stay there in 3rd, but we do see that pass for the race lead. So the 16 of Matthew Wood now gets himself out in front. He leads the way once again. Now it's going to be interesting to see what these drivers are going to do here throughout the rest of this race. Pit strategy is going to play a major factor here in this one. And tire wear, tire staging, is going to be very big here as well. So what these drivers really got to do is they got to time out these pit stops perfectly here. Their tire strategy, and if they got more tires back there behind pit wall, as I do believe they've already used up, this is their 3rd set from off the wall. So, I mean, I think they're starting to run out of tires here in a quick hurry. Looks like they did have 5 sets, so they got 2 more sets back behind pit wall. So throughout this run, virtually double the length of what we already raced here this evening. These drivers are going to have to try to use these 2 tires up and try to see if they can use them to their advantage. So they got a fresh set on right now, which will make them go about 36 laps of what we heard from Grant Applegate, maybe stretch it to 40. So that would bring us around to lap 120-ish or so. You gotta come back down pit side, and then you might be able to make it to the end. you might be able to make it all the way, but I don't think you will. I think you're going to have to probably come down pit side again for that, the 160 marker. So we're going to see these guys potentially do 2 green flag pit stops here in this final run, and if we see some caution flags late in this race, it could really be down to who's got that extra set of tires, who's been saving the tires the most to be able to hop out here and see if they got that speed to try to put themselves in front of the field. We saw those fresh tires early on really pay dividends, really open up the door for some of those drivers like Applegate to come from, mid-pack a little farther in the field, up and through all the traffic into the front of the pack there to pick up that first stage win. So the fresh tires are going to mean a lot here in this one. The fresh tires will mean everything for these cars to try to pick up a checkered flag here this evening, and it could come down to that final pit stop, could come down to a late race caution flag and a tire strategy call that could potentially put one of these drivers up and into victory lane. As Matthew Wood out in front, stretching out that lead. Wood at the front of the field here in that 16 ride. He's out in front now by about 1.5 seconds between himself and William Connolly. Connolly trying to work himself around that 64. Scott Healy, he'll make that pass, so Healy staying there in third. Connolly up into second as Aiden Lucas right there in position number 4. Blackwell, Carrier all right there as well. A little single file for the most part throughout our top 10. And we see these drivers start to break up a little bit more. The gaps start to grow a little bit out there on the speedway. The drivers that have their cars absolutely hooked up, or drivers that are maybe trying to roll a little bit of extra strategy here into this run, which could be a very, very long run. We did see stage number 2 go clean and green that whole way, so we could potentially see this final stage go, 80 plus laps, 90 plus laps, green flag racing without a caution flag. But in that time period, these cats are going to have to come down pit side for at least probably 2 pit stops here. So it's really going to mix things up. You can't make a mistake down pit road. You can't have those mistakes out there on the racetrack. But out in front, the 16 rider, Matthew Wood, he's using these fresh tires up right now, and he's trying to use them to his advantage, trying to open up a huge, huge lead here over the rest of the field. This may really make everybody else back there behind him kind of either show their hand a little early by pitting early to try to gain track position on this 16 ride, or potentially have to try a different strategy here. Maybe try to run out these laps a little longer, see if they can roll off the throttle, save some extra fuel, see if they can try to work themselves into victory lane here this evening. As Wood out in front, Connolly and Healy still battling here for position number 2 on the racetrack. Noah Blackwell up into 4th here as Dylan Carrier will jump there into the 5th spot. You do see Ben Gleason trying to work there to his outside. Aiden Lucas in the Beyond Detailing 77 ride slides back now to position number 7 on the speedway. Landon Burbage there in 8th with Jordan Hand and Ryan Haller rounding out our top 10 here on the racetrack. Josh Kreider there in 11th, sung out right around the outside of the top 10 all evening long, looking to try to work himself back inside the top 10 on the racetrack. And then a few other drivers that are a couple laps down there. You do see the 76 right. Oh, contact right in front of him. Kreider collected in it. The 99, a Haller. The 66 also in there as well. Heavy damage for Gleason, heavy damage for the 5 and the 99. As caution flag going to come back out here on the speedway. My gosh, some big hits right there. As we'll take a look in front of them, the 66 down on the apron already. We'll see if there's, looks like maybe a little contact here between himself and the 77 right at Aiden Lucas. Comes off the wall. I'm not sure if one of them comes down or one of them comes up, but nonetheless, it looks like Aiden maybe comes up the racetrack a little bit, just tags that 66 ride. That gets him loose. He can't hold on to it. Goes right down the track over the nose of the 77, and he's trying to get this car checked up, trying to make sure that he keeps this car out of trouble. Unfortunately, it washes back up the racetrack. Look at Horvath just barely missing him, but Ryan Haller unfortunately did not miss him, and same with that 5 ride of Josh Kreider. Both of those cats get in there full head of steam, and unfortunately nowhere to go, and all that momentum, all that energy just kind of energized into the cars in front of them, creating a ton of damage here. for all three of these drivers. Heavy rear end damage for the Hot Dogs. Oscar Meyer, number 66 at Gleason. Tons of front end damage and rear damage there for Ryan Haller, and tons of front end damage here for Josh Kreider in that 5 machine. Let's see if we can take this back again. Let's see if we can jump right on board here with Josh Kreider. I don't think he was expecting this one. Let's see if we can play it back. He's going to see something down there towards corner 3. Sees that car go down onto the apron. Thinking maybe he'd hold it there. Unfortunately, does not. Unfortunately, just rolling in there. You could hear him roll out of the throttle. Wasn't on the brakes or anything. I think he was just trying to wait, bide his time, see where these drivers were going. Maybe he thought the 66 would go all the way up the racetrack into the outside wall where they could cut down underneath of him and avoid him there. Unfortunately, he was on the binders, gets stopped there in the middle of the racetrack. Man, big hits right there. Let's take a look on board here with the number 99, Ryan Haller. Is Haller right here as well. Just, man, it's gonna be a big hit. Oh man, nothing you can do. You hear that engine drop out of it there as well, and it's definitely a dark and gloomy day here now for Ryan Haller and Ben Gleason, Josh Kreider. All these drivers were out there having some pretty good runs, some pretty good racing here throughout this one, and unfortunately all three drivers, heavy damages. Matthew Wood will get ready to go back to green flag racing here as Wood out in front. Scott Healy there in second. Then we see William Connolly, Noah Blackwell. Then we see Dylan Carrier, Jordan Hand, Landon Burbage, Jordan Kreider now up into 8th. Aiden Lucas back there in 9th. And Grant Applegate rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. I do believe that is Dallas Stewart looking to try to get a lap back here in this one. Same with the 79 ride as well. Danny White both looking to try to get some laps back here in this race. They're in front of our race leader. They should get that wave around back around the official iRacing pace car here and gain a lap on everybody here in this one. Unfortunately for them, they are multiple laps down, so they may have to try that a couple times and try to get back to that lead lap. As we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. Now, what is this going to do for tire strategy, pit strategy, all the strategy that these drivers are really going to have to play with here throughout this race? Maybe that will take fuel mileage out of this one if they can roll out there on the speedway for another 36 laps or so. 36, 40 laps, brings them to about that 136, 140 area. If they come back down pit side at that point, they can make it on fuel, no problem, to the end of this race. But the big question is going to be, will they be able to have the tires to do it? Will the tires hold up? Will the tires be able to hold them here at the front of the field, and before seeing maybe another driver or two spin around or go around, or more caution flags to come that'll really mix things up here in this one, as the field has definitely gotten insurmountably smaller here, as we do see Seward and that 79 ride rolling back here at the rear of the field, trying to catch up to the back of the pack. Ben Gleason just rolling back out onto the racetrack. Farrell Robbins, the number 54 of Thomas Horvath, they're back there. Unfortunately, laps down for both of those contenders here, and get ready to see if we can go back to green flag racing and see what happens here in this one. As, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we do see that green flag fly once again here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. The 16 down low gets a great launch and a great drive here as Matthew Wood at the front of the field. Scott Healy back there behind him in that second spot as Healy able to use that front row to his advantage to hold off that 25 of William Connolly. Noah Blackwell hanging out there in the 4th spot. Noah's done a great job here all evening long and finds himself there in position number 4 with Jordan Hand and the 88 of Dylan Carrier up there battling for that 5th position on the speedway. And in the Optic, Scooby-Doo number 1 ride, he's got that mystery machine hooked up here and working to the outside of the Kyle Busch number 88, the M&M's throwback paint scheme ride there in the bottom side of the racetrack now. As the Kyle Busch ran the 18, not the 88, but the M&M scheme kind of coming from that 18 machine for the long time that he raced there for Joe Gibbs and use that M&M's paint scheme, looking fresh out there on the speedway, but he is going to give up a couple spots as Jordan Hand and the 2 Rhino Landon Burbage both going to roll around him, so move Dylan Carrier back to position number 7 here on the speedway. Let's get a good look in here at Dylan Carrier out there on the racetrack as down to see where it says Robbins and mine on board are insane for that last caution flag. We'll have to take a look at that one. Let's see if we can take a look back. Let's take a look back first at the onboards here for that last caution flag. Let's take a look here at Dallas Seaward's perspective of this one. As soon as I can find it, Chad. As soon as I can find it. We will pull it up and we'll let you guys take a look at it as they were able to avoid this wreck apparently. Apparently their saving grace here in this one was quite insane. Let's take a look at Dallas Seaward here. Let's jump on board with this 38 ride and see what he can see. There's the 76 of Robin right in front of him. Yeah, there you go. Bam, 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 bam. Both drivers just able to get through there. I think the 76 ride split in the middle right there of Farrell Robbins. This may be the crazy one. Farrell Robbins is right behind these guys. He sees this happening from his cockpit, and look at this. Just gets down low, just avoids the 66 right there. So a good piece of driving by Farrell Robbins there in that one. Man, that was a heads-up move right there for both of those competitors as we were going to jump on board and take a look here at this number 88 ride of Dylan Carrier out there on the speedway, but Jordan Hand's going to go around. Caution flag back on the racetrack. Heavy hit right there for Jordan Hand. His hand goes for a wild ride, and I think this one, he may be pretty dizzy out there on the speedway. We'll have to take a look and see what happened here as, man, oh man, Jordan Hand having a great run, having a great race. Now, I'm not sure if he goes up the track or the 2 comes down, but they go together, and he goes for a wild one. Oh, Applegate in there as well. Nowhere to go for our stage 1 and 2 winner here on the evening as Applegate gets a big piece of that one ride as well as we get another look at this one. I don't know if there was contact between these 2 drivers or if it was netcode or what might have happened as 2 Ryan rolling into the back end of the one. He's up quite a bit, but then he does kind of come down, and then, yeah, and then I think it's the netcode kind of gets that one ride pointed straight right there. If you watch it, you can kind of see that car, you know, turning easily. Then right there, the car kind of just straightens out from the netcode and then up over the nose of the 2 ride, and then watch this hard up into that outside fence, and then all of a sudden, Grant Applegate just nowhere to go, slams into him there as well. Heavy hit, heavy contact for both of these drivers that were collected there in that one, and heartbreaker for Applegate after picking up the first couple stages here on the evening. A heartbreaker here for this number 1 ride of Jordan Hand as well. His hand just nowhere to go. Let's see if we can jump on board with the hand job machine as well. Take a look and see what he sees from the cockpit. As there's contact, and then bam, straight up into the fence, and then do-si-do. Around she goes for Jordan Hand here in this one, man. That's a couple heavy hits right there, and heartbreaker there for that number 1 ride. Let's see if we can jump on board as well. Grant Applegate a little farther back. He's going to get a great look at the initial contact. Sees that one ride go up the racetrack. Tries to get down low and out of the way. Unfortunately, couldn't get out of the way quick enough. And that was some heavy damage here on this number 57 ride. Look at that right front. Just absolutely tore apart here in this one. Wheel not even turning, so you know it's bad when that wheel doesn't turn. You see him slam up into the outside fence because this car does not want to turn at all. And that right front is absolutely shredded. Take a look at it here. Absolutely shredded. Wheels not turning. That is a tough break there for Applegate as the crew's going to have to go to work and put in some serious elbow grease to try to get this car figured out, fixed back up, and back out there on the speedway. But that may have ended his opportunity, his chances of trying to find victory lane here this evening as we'll get everybody ready to rock and roll. Once again, we'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in just a few more moments as I'm going to get a quick drink into me, then we're going to get ready to rock and roll here in this one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't yet done it, make sure you do it as it's absolutely free to do. Helps us out a ton here on the broadcast. Make sure you guys drop a couple comments. hit that like button on the stream, and make sure you guys hit that subscribe button over there on YouTube, or make sure you hit that follow button over on Facebook and Twitch, as we're currently live on all 3 channels. But it's absolutely free to do. It helps us grow to an extreme amount here as we continue to grow each and every single day, and it's all thanks to you viewers coming in, showing the love here, and doing those things for us, man. Just the simple like, comment, share, and hitting that subscribe button, hitting that follow button, man, means the absolute world to us. As we'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in just a few more moments. I'm gonna get a quick drink into me, then we're gonna get ready to rock and roll.
Everybody. Engines roaring loud and proud. Track is hot, fans are wild. Speeds are climbing high and fast. Racing dreams are built to last. Drivers ready, hearts are strong. Victory feels like a song. Wheels they spin, rubber burns. Corners come and swiftly turn. Drivers ready, hearts are strong. Victory.
Alrighty, as we're going to get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in this one. Out in front, Matthew Wood will see this green flag fly down and through the Geico restarts on the 16. He's going to put that hammer down right here behind him. That is the number 25, William Connolly. Connolly did not get a great launch right there, unfortunately, for the 25 ride. He quickly slides back into that 5th position as the outside lane powers down and rolls right around him. So moves the 25, going from 3rd back to 5th there on the restart is Matthew Wood. Still hanging on to the race lead here in this one. Healy there in 2nd. Noah Blackwell now into 3rd as Dylan Carrier there in position number 4 and looking for more out there on the speedway. Connolly there in 5th, and then we see Landon Burbage, Jordan Kreider, Aiden Lucas, Josh Kreider in the number 29 of Chris Stange rounding out our top 10. Kevin Winker there in 11th, trying to get some good luck here this evening, going and flowing here on the speedway. Winker was able to pick up some good stage points, some much needed stage points here on the evening, and there goes our Stage 1 and 2 winner underneath of him there. That is the 57 of Grant Applegate. Already having to use up that quick repair, so luckily enough he was able to get this car back together and fixed up here quickly down pit road. Stays on the lead lap, and he's still in contention here in this race as the 57 ride finds himself back here in position number 11 on the speedway. Going to work himself back inside the top 10 as he looks down low on Chris Stange. Stange trying to keep him back there and back at bay as out in front. Looking to have himself a good day here at the Speedway is this 16 of Matthew Wood. Wood's been right up here inside the top 5 pretty much all evening long. And late in this race, we saw earlier there, that first part of the run in this final stage was able to open up a pretty sizable lead here between the rest of these drivers. But this time, he's trying to stretch out that lead, trying to run away with it. You see that number 64, Scott Healy, trying to stay right there with him as Healy was able to pick up the win last week. He's looking to try to go back to back, looking to see if he can find victory lane again here this evening as William Connolly looking to try to work himself not only around the 88 ride of Dylan Carrier, but right around the outside of the 9 of Noah Blackwell as well. As Blackwell and Carrier both going to slide back to 4th and 5th, move Connolly back up into 3rd, and this is a good rebound day for this 25 ride. He got collected in that 2nd caution flag of the evening, a heavy hit for him as the 28 ride of Trenton Johns came back up the speedway hard up into the front end inside of the 25 ride, who got up into the 6 of Brian Underwood. We saw Underwood down pit side for an extended period of time. He did come back out onto the racetrack, but he was so many laps down that unfortunately this 6 machine just could not keep on rolling out there on the racetrack, and unfortunately back down pit side here for Mr. Underwood. And Trenton Johns off the speedway here. We also see Jaden Porter and Nathan Brookover both down pit side as well. So only our top 20 still rolling here on the speedway, and a lot of our top 20 find themselves back a lap or two or multiple laps here on the speedway. Chris Gantz, Ryan Haller, Jordan Hand, all some of those drivers that are down multiple laps here on the evening. Dallas Seward, Farrell Robbins, all down laps here as well. Actually, I do believe Dallas Seward is the first driver one lap down out here on the speedway, and Farrell Robbins, after getting wave around, is now the last driver on the lead lap, currently being scored in the 14th position. Is out in front, Matthew Wood continues to lead the way here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Yo, Austin Gilmore. Austin coming in, smashing that subscribe button. Austin, welcome to the Peacemaker family. Welcome to the Peacemaker crew, man. Coming in, showing the love here in this one. Smashing that subscribe button as Kurt Jansen coming in as well. Says, I'm curious, what is the name of the song and who is it? Brother, that is a song that I created here, brother. That's a song that I created. That is some AI magic right there that we were able to create. That is an AI song, but we may release it. We may release it as a Peacemaker original here, and maybe make a little racing video to go along with it for an actual, YouTube video and song where you guys can go and listen to it and cheer it on. We got a lot of good ones here that we've created over the last little while for all of our different leagues. So maybe something we'll have to kind of work on this week is, creating a couple videos for the leagues and putting the songs in there for you guys to be able to go back, listen, and enjoy those songs. As there's some heaters in there. There's some heaters in there. I made one the other night for myself for Peacemaker Gaming, and man, it went hard. It was very, very good. It was a very amazing song. So I'll have to keep that one in here and definitely make some videos for you guys to be able to enjoy these songs here on Peacemaker Gaming. As out in front, enjoying this green flag run, is that 16 ride as Matthew Wood continues to lead the way, and these laps continue to get clicked down. Is down out at quarter number 3 and 4. We will see these drivers go down across the line. Lap 120 up and onto the board here, meaning that we got 48 laps of racing action left to go here in this one. 48 laps until we see that checkered flag fly. Is lap number 20. 120 is underway for this evening. Seems like it's been a longer race here, too. I don't know what it's been. I don't know. It's been an hour and a half since we were alive, but I feel like this race has been quite a little while. For us to get to this 120 marker, it's been about an hour and 22 minutes. I feel like it's a little longer than usual, but I think it's just this racetrack. The tire fall off, man, is really making these drivers have to work more and actually have to try to put some more elbow grease into these rides to maneuver around the speedway. And the tire fall off, man, is absolutely massive. Early in this race with the fresh tires, drivers were laying down 31.2 second lap times, 31 3s, 31 4s, but they were right around that 31 second bracket. They are now rolling towards that 32.3, 32.2, 32.4 second bracket. So it's already been a second of fall off on these tires for these drivers. And as we continue to keep on rolling more and more and more laps, we're going to see that go to 2 seconds, possibly 3 seconds before we see these drivers come down pit side, get some fresh tires onto their cars here this evening. So that means that they got to be very, very cautious on what they're doing, how they're saving these tires, and when they're using these tires. I don't know if they did come down pit side during that last caution flag around lap number 100 or so, and now that we're kind of going again, longer green flag run here again, we're getting, to that point where they might have put some fresh tires on again, and if they did put those fresh tires on again, they only got one set left back there behind pit wall. So only one set of, good tires left. They really got to time this one out. They got to hit this perfectly here and hope that somebody else back there behind them isn't saving that tire. If we see that caution flag fly after these drivers have already come down pit side during green flag pit stops and put their last set of fresh tires onto their car, they could be sitting ducks out there on the speedway. Even a green-white checkered finish with one driver or two drivers with those fresh tires, they're going to be able to pick these guys off. There's so much room out here at Atlanta Motor Speedway that they can work through the traffic. They can work around some of the slower traffic in a quick hurry here. And we saw earlier Grant Applegate able to use that kind of strategy and put himself out in front and pick up that first stage win on the evening. So that could be a major factor here late in this race when it comes down to all the strategy that these drivers are thinking of. So they got to be very, very cautious on when they're hitting pit road, when they're making that move down pit side to put themselves into the winner's circle here this evening, as you do not want to be that first driver down pit road or one of the first and then see that caution flag come out afterwards or anything else. You want to make sure that you can keep this track position, keep the fresh tires, and have those in your back pocket for late in this race. So it's going to be very, very interesting here to see how this one plays out, how this one finishes off, as door-to-door for our race lead. The 16 of Matthew Wood now has Scott Healy down to his inside. Healy's been rolling with them slowly but surely. Got back up to the 16 ride. Now goes for the big move to take this race lead away. The crossover for Matthew Wood down the back straightaway, down into quarter number 3. As these two battling at the front of the field, they got about 1.3 second lead between themselves and our third place driver, now the 88 of Dylan Carrier. Stage back there in position number 4, and Connolly there in 5th, but out in front, Matthew Wood and Scott Healy putting on a show here, duking it out at the front of the field. This could potentially be the battle for the win here this evening. It could be between these two cats out there on the speedway, and right now Matthew Wood able to hold off the hard charge out of Scott Healy, but as they run harder, they do these crossovers, they battle side by side out there on the racetrack. They have to push their cars a little bit more, like you just saw the 16 do. He got very sideways sliding down through 3 and 4. That's going to burn up their tires. That's going to use up their equipment in a quick hurry, and it's not going to take long for the rest of these drivers to hunt them down. As here you go. Here comes Dylan Carrier. Here comes the rest of the field, chasing down our race leaders. They start to battle here at the front of the field. Everybody else is inching closer and closer right back to their rear bumper, and if they catch them, these guys, if they keep on battling like this, they keep burning up their stuff, this they may not have anything for them. Now you see the 64 ride get very loose there at quarter number 4 himself. Was able to hang on to that run, get it pointed back in the right direction, but he's going to use up a little bit of tire wear right there, sliding through 3 and 4, and able to get that car still rolling, pointing in the right direction, looking for another big run on the outside here. As now you see the 16 getting a little loose, and I think this may play right into the hands here of Dylan Carrier. Chris Stange, Aiden Lucas, these guys are looking a little bit faster maybe right now, looking like they're holding that wheel a little bit more pretty, keeping the tires underneath of them, making sure they keep their cars pointed in the right direction, and that may open up the door for somebody else to put the pressure here. As there you go, Dylan Carrier now to the back bumper of that 64 ride. The sun's starting to come out here at Atlanta Motor Speedway there, just ever so slightly down in quarter number 1, as that 88 of Dylan Carrier going to make the move to try to jump up and take this race lead away, man. What a run, what a drive so far for Dylan Carrier. And then a little farther back, we do have the number 25 ride, William Connolly, battling here with the 2 machine. These two are battling door to door, and if they're on the racetrack, and we'll get a great look here at this 25 ride, as well as we do have the in-car camera here for the number 25 machine of Connolly as well. So let's get a good look here at Connolly's perspective here as he's steamrolling around the speedway. See different setups here for a lot of these drivers, different setups, different ways that they're kind of maneuvering and doing things here on the racetrack. You see that single monitor for this number 25 ride, a little bit more plain and simple, but he's got that wheel, he's got everything hooked up, and he's got this EFF ride, the Atlas machine, hooked up here this evening, as him and that 2 ride nose the tail, trying to hunt down our top 5 out there on the racetrack. Huge shout out there to Mr. Connolly for having the webcam turned on. Huge shout out to all of our drivers having their webcams on here this evening, as we do have Landon Burbage, the driver right in front of him, has his webcam on as well. Let's see if we can hop in and on board here with this number 2 ride as he tries to track down our top 5 here on the speedway, as the 2 machine of Burbage trying to hunt these guys down, trying to work himself towards the front of the field, and getting there, man. They're catching up. Look at that 64 ride of Connolly, or not Connolly, of Healy. Healy's already slid back now to that 4th position on the racetrack. He's on unfortunately get past there by a couple of these other competitors as Landon Burbage, huge shout out there for him having the webcam turned on. Huge shout out to all the drivers here having their webcams turned on as we'll get a good group look here at all the drivers out there on the racetrack that got their webcams turned on for us to give us good looks at what they're doing here on the evening. I'm pretty sure the bottom right driver, that is Mr. Porter, and unfortunately looked like he was taking a little bit of a snooze right there. I think he's down pit side, maybe taking a nap in that car. So Jaden Porter rolling, unfortunately, back here in the 21st spot. Tons of damage on that ride. Unfortunately, got collected a few things earlier, but we do see a battle and a different change here at the front of the field as here you go. You do see the 88 ride out in front as we hit the webcams up there. We'll give you another good look there at Jaden Porter down pit side as he was sleeping there a little bit. Let's take a look here. Here's the 74 ride, the AD's Designs ride down pit side here, taking a nap there behind the wheel. And here you go, starting to see our race leaders come down pit side. Matthew Wood hits his box, but he misses it right there. Wood, he got in there a little bit too far. You saw him have to throw that car into reverse and trying to pit a little bit earlier here. This one may have hurt him. Watch him slide into his box here. Fortunately, goes a little too far. Has to throw it into reverse. That second or two is all it takes to maybe take yourself out of contention for this win here this evening. As now we see more drivers coming down pit road, and we still see the 16 ride down pit side here. So Matthew Wood, potentially a pit road speeding penalty for the 16 ride as well. So another mistake by one of those drivers at the front of the field, in this one is not over yet. This one's going to get very, very interesting as Austin Gilmore says Aiden Lucas has a webcam. Give him shit for it. Hey, the link is in the stream, in the Discord every single week. If Aiden doesn't join, that's on Aiden. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. I'm not going to give him trouble. None of these drivers have to turn their webcams on. I'm just happy enough that they actually do turn their webcams on. As we do see Chris Stange rolling back out there onto the racetrack. Connolly still down pit side, as well as Ben Gleason. Scott Healy still down there as well. So I'm not sure if these drivers potentially, a lot of these guys getting penalties down pit side. You're going to see the 42 Kevin Winker roll off here. Connolly still down there. We do see Matthew Wood still down pit side. He's finally rolling back out onto the racetrack. There you go. There goes the 64, the 66. A Gleason still down pit side. 25 finally rolling back out here. So I wonder if some of these guys, you do see the 77 ride of Aiden Lucas down pit side. He just missed his pit box as well there. Went a little too far. I don't think he got any pit road penalties. We do see Dylan Carrier now making his way down pit side. So our race leader down pit road now in this 88 machine. So making his green flag pit stop here for the 88 ride. Blinking a little bit there down pit road. But man, this is going to be very interesting just to see, what actually happened here. A lot of these drivers, I think, running into issues down pit road, and that's what we talked about earlier. You cannot make those penalties. You cannot make those mistakes out there on the racetrack. When it comes to these green flag pit stops, speeding down pit road, man, it can put you behind the ball in a quick career. It can put you multiple laps down. As you see, Dylan Carrier quickly down and out of his pit box, rolls back out there onto the racetrack. So different pit strategies playing out here for a lot of these drivers as Grant Applegate going to consume this race lead. So Applegate out in front. Noah Blackwell there in position number 2 now as Chris Stange rolls there in third. Landon Burbage there in fourth. And Dylan Carrier was our race leader at the time of these green flag pit stops. Finds himself now here in position number 5 on the speedway. Applegate, our race leader, right there behind him, though, potentially to put him a lap down. But that number 88 a little too quick down pit side here as you do see these drivers. 2 laps down for Healy, 2 laps down for Gleason, 2 laps down for Wood and Getz. So these drivers getting penalized down pit road, actually taking them out of the winner's circle here this evening. That may be exactly what Grant Applegate was hoping for. Don't worry, that is just a glitch on iRacing. Just a connection issue there for the 57 Ryan Blinken out there on the speedway as he leads the way here in this one. Chris Stange now in second. Landon Burbage there in third. Aiden Lucas back there in position number 4 with Dylan Carrier there in position number 5 here on the speedway as the laps continue to get closer and closer to the end. We are still 26 laps away from that checkered flag. So let's jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. Let's crank up that volume, cheer these drivers on one more time here as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. the battle at the front of the field. These drivers duking it out for the race win here this evening. As out in front, it's Landon Burbage who leads the way here this evening. Burbage at the front, but right there behind him, Aiden Lucas. And Dylan Carrier charging him down in a quick hurry. They're all over his back bumper as the two machine try to keep himself pointed in the right direction, trying to keep these drivers back there at bay. Let's get a good look in here at Landon Burbage, what he's doing behind the wheel, trying to keep these drivers back there behind him. The 77 ride getting a big run to his outside. He's trying to work that wheel, trying to keep these guys back there and behind him, but man, oh man, oh man, it's some tight racing here at the front of the field with 15 laps left to go in this one. Landon Burbage able to hang on to that race lead as here comes Dylan Carrier. Carrier right there as well as it's a three-car fight at the front of the field for the win here this evening. As there goes the 77 to the outside of the two, and we see the caution flag fly. Now this is what we were talking about. These late race restarts and what could possibly be the final restart of the evening and what could potentially be a race-winning strategy. One of these drivers, oh, look out, Aiden Lucas! Gonna get into the 69 ride, our race leader. Gonna get in there hot and heavy, make some hard contact with that 69 machine. Jordan Kreider, and my gosh, that may have caused a ton of, oh man, look at the right front. Four up here on Aiden Lucas. Lucas had tons of time to try to get checked up here. Unfortunately, could not get checked up enough and crashes into the number 69 ride. One of those cars, part of the caution flag here. We'll have to take a look back and see what happened here as he had quite a bit of time to avoid any issues here. I'm not sure Kreider was still turned around out there. There's the caution flag coming out, but the number 77 here down through 3 and 4 would get checked up. Still not slowing down here on the racetrack. Caution flag is clearly out, and then comes in here the 69 trying to get up the speed. Unfortunately, right there in the middle of the racetrack. Now I'm not sure if the 69 was. I think the 69 was part of this caution flag here. Let's take a look back and see what happens if Jordan Kreider, Jordan Kreider and Dallas Seward all come together right there. Grant Applegate right in the middle of this one as well. So our stage 1 and 2 winner getting tied up in another one late in this race. That may take him out of it as the 38 shoots up the racetrack over the nose there of the 69. They come together. This is our caution flag here. As the 69 and the 38 come together, heavy damage there. Our flagman getting a great look at it. No caution flag till right now. He finally gets that flag out, starts waving it here. So the 69 parked backwards here on the speedway. Has to wait for more drivers to kind of get around here before he gets a opening to get rolling back onto the speedway. So he starts rolling here on the racetrack, just trying to get back up the speed. And the 77, Aiden Lucas, this is where he comes into the picture and gets into him there. No fault of the 69 there as he's just trying to get back up to speed. 77 comes in there, whole head of steam, never let off. And unfortunately, that's going to find him back here now a little farther here in the field as drivers did make their way down pit side. Now, I'm not sure if any of these drivers were able to get fresh tires or not, but we do see repairs obviously done to the number 77 ride. Let's take a look here at like a driver of number 2. Let's take a look here at some of these drivers here. Let's take a look at here quickly. Let's take a look at Landon Burbage, our race leader. He comes down pit side and gets tires or not on this number 2 ride. Let's play this forward here just a little bit. Go a little quicker till he gets into his pit box here. Go down. He's going to get into his pit box here in just a second. Wait and see if these drivers had tires back there behind pit wall or not. Or they maybe just got fuel. He does get jacked up, so I'm not sure if they had an extra set still, or if potentially putting on some scrub tires from earlier in the race that may be a little bit better than what they have on right now. So some interesting calls. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out, but this balances out the field, brings everybody back together here as William Connolly in the 25 will get that free pass back onto the lead lap. So we currently have 10 drivers still scored on the lead lap here in this race. Unfortunately for Scott Healy, he is the first driver 1 lap down, so he's going to need another caution flag. Jordan Kreider also a lap down. Ben Gleason, Dallas Seward, Matthew Wood, multiple laps down there for the number 16 Ryder Wood here in this one after the pit road penalty taken out. A couple of our top competitors, Scott Healy, Matthew Wood, all down pit side. Jordan Hand, a couple of these guys getting penalties down pit road, and unfortunately paying the ultimate price for it. And we're going to have to try to hope for some caution flags, some wave around, and some opportunities to try to work themselves back onto the lead lap. But as of right now, they are stuck quite a ways back there. Connolly at least back on the lead lap, but you see this 25 ride has to start at the rear of the field, even with the other drivers that are a lap down or multiple laps down. He still has to start back there behind them. So for the 25 ride, he's got to make up a ton of extra ground before he can catch up to our next driver, Farrell Robbins, in that 76 ride. So going to have to look for a lot of good runs, a lot of good speed to be able to try to hunt down our top 8 here on the speedway. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. It's Chris Stange out in front. Stange, Noah Blackwell 1 and 2 here on the speedway. Landon Burbage there in 3rd. Dylan Carrier there in 4th. Aiden Lucas in 5th with Kevin Winker. Grant Applegate, Farrell Robbins, our top 8 here on the speedway as we go back to green flag racing here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Only 10 more laps left to go as Brian Carrier says, let's go 88. And Bones Dutch, what's good, Bones? Bones coming in, showing the love, says he should have been at the bottom of the racetrack. I don't know. He probably could have rolled more down to the bottom through the tri-oval, but there really isn't a whole lot down there on the front straightaway. But I feel like the 77 had ample amount of time there to get checked up, get onto the binders there, and get down to caution flag speed, as we already see a couple of drivers getting to the front of the field here, so they may have had those extra set of fresh tires here as quickly Dylan Carrier, Noah Blackwell out in front, and they are pulling away from the rest of the field like it's nothing. Kevin Winker right there with them now into position number 3 on the speedway. Farrell Robbins there in 4th. Chris Stange, who was the leader there, taking the green flag, he slides all the way back now into position number 6 on the speedways. Aiden Lucas, and now Grant Applegate gonna roll around him as the 64 ride. Look out, Healy down through the grass. Is he gonna be able to save it? He does. Great save right there by the 64, able to keep that car pointing the right direction. Rolls back up onto the racetrack. No caution flag, though, on the speedway, and that's exactly what Dylan Carrier and Noah Blackwell wanted to hear. As no caution flag, they keep on rolling clean and green out there on the speedway. As Winker back here in 2nd, trying to hunt them down. Here comes Farrell Robbins in the 76. Aiden Lucas there in the 77. It's a big run right there for Farrell Robbins down to the inside of the 42 of Kevin Winker. Winker gonna slide back now to position number 4 as Robbins jumps up into position number 3. As Dylan Carrier out in front, though, looking to try to pick up this checkered flag. He's only got 7 more laps left to go to get it done. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's been an absolutely amazing show so far here this evening. And if you haven't already, hit that like button on the broadcast right now. Hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. As man, oh man, these guys have been putting on one heck of a race here for us all evening long. Brian Carrier says, come on, Dylan, cheering him on here in this one as he's got 6 laps left to go, starting to stretch out that lead between himself and his teammate Noah Blackwell. Blackwell there in 2nd as Farrell Robbins trying to hunt them down, and there you go. Tower operator coming in, showing the love as well, cheering on that 42 ride. Kevin Winker trying to battle back here for position number 3. Aiden Lucas right there as well. Luckily enough, able to get that car repaired, keep on rolling out there on the racetrack. Didn't really give up too much time or too much track position, but he's had a tough break trying to work himself through some of this field where he's on that 88 ride, make moves quickly, get through there and get to the front of the pack here. And I think he's using that to his advantage to open up this lead more and more and more. And now that they're battling door to door here for that 3rd and 4th position, and in that 5th position there as well with Aiden Lucas, he's really starting to stretch out this race lead. As Grant Applegate back there in 6th. Applegate, after picking up stage win number 1 and number 2, finds himself here in the 6th position. The 2 rider Landon Burbage down to his inside. The number 25, William Connolly, back there in the 8th spot as he was able to work himself around Josh Kreider and the 29 rider Chris Stange. So Stange on a bit of a different tire strategy here. I think everyone else still had that extra set down behind pit wall that they were able to use right there, but I don't think that the 29 ride put them on. So maybe he's thinking another caution flag is going to come here in these closing laps, and if it does, he could be the only driver with those fresh tires and restarting this race about that 10th spot with the fresher tires. He may be able to work himself to the front of the field, as Dylan Carrier does not want to hear that C word right now, does not want to hear about any caution flags. He wants to keep this clean and green. Is over a second between himself and his teammate Noah Blackwell here at the front of the field as Carrier down across the line. We'll click off another lap, and we see 2 more laps left to go. 2 more laps here for the 88 to try to pick up the checker flag here this evening. Can Dylan Carrier get it done? Do we see a caution flag, or do we see it all come undone for the 88 ride here in the last lap and a half here at Atlanta Motor Speedway? Carrier nice and easy down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. We will see the white flag fly one more time around here for Dylan Carrier. All he's got to do is roll around this racetrack, not have any issues, not make any mistakes. He's got a big enough gap back here between himself and the 76 rider Farrell Robbins as Robbins trying to hunt him down. Blackwell there in third. Is the white flag already been displayed? A couple drivers running into issues there through 1 and 2, but down the back straightaway for the final time here this evening. Nice and easy through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. It's Dylan Carrier who's going to pick up the checker flag here this evening at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Look at the emotion. He's absolutely psyched. He's absolutely pumped up, getting the win and picking up the checker flag here this evening. What a run and what a drive right there by the 88 as he picks up the win there reckon after the checkered flag down the back straightaway. But man, what a run. This M&M's NJB Designs Phoenix Esports number 88 of Dylan Carrier as he picks up the win here this evening. He is absolutely psyched. He's absolutely pumped up on getting the win here in this one, and he's going to get ready to burn down the house here at Atlanta Motor Speedway as he's going to do some donuts here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for our race winner, Dylan Carrier. Dylan getting the job done, picking up the win and putting himself up here in victory lane after a very good run, a very good race. A lot of great strategy out there on the speedway, and the Phoenix Esports number 88 machine will get it done here in this one. A lot of congratulations from all the other drivers and everything else here in this one. As man, a great finish there for the 88 machine. As we did see some issues on that last lap. We'll have to take a look back and see what happened as Kevin Winker says, are you serious? White flag 57 preaches clean driving and wrecks me and the 2. Oh no. Oh no. Y'all got applegated. You got applegated, Winker. Let's take a look back here as the team here, the NJB Designs team, gonna celebrate together on the front straightaway. Let's take a look and see what happened here as we'll get ready to pull our race winner in just a little bit. As Bones does his congratulations. Tower Operator says, good race, absolutely good races. Hey, it's Kev says, every time I have a good race going, I get killed. Yeah, unfortunate breaks out there for you, Mr. Holler. Unfortunate breaks there in that one. Brian says, great race, son. Absolutely. Had great fuel strat and got killed. Oh no, that's the worst. That's the worst. It's Kev. That is the absolute worst. The 88 is a good looking ride. It is a great looking ride. It looks even better up here in Victory Lane. Yep, of course I'm involved in it too. Oh no. Oh no. Well, let's take a look back and see the contact and controversy here. We'll bring Dylan back up here in just a few more moments for some post-race interviews. We'll let him celebrate and party here with his teammates down there in Victory Lane. But we'll take a look back and see what happens here. So the 57, 42 and the 2 rider, all the drivers that we're kind of keeping an eye on here. And ooh, yeah, 57 into the 2 ride. kind of hooks the 2 up into the 42 here. So, look at another angle at this one, the contact between these competitors. So I'm not sure 57 comes down or if the 2 comes up. Definitely looks like the 57 comes down. Unfortunately, yeah, just kind of gets hooked into the 2 right there, which comes down and hooks the 42 of Kevin Winker, and heavy contact there for Landon Burbage. Heavy contact there for Kevin Winker as they go around here getting that white flag. Unfortunately for them, the white flag was already being displayed, so no caution flag on the racetrack, and both drivers pointing in the wrong direction here. Looking the wrong way, pointed the wrong way, and unfortunately for both of those competitors, they are going to come back and finish in the 8th position on the speedway for the 42, and I do believe the 2 rider Landon Burbage comes home in position number 14 on the speedway here. So a couple of tough breaks for those drivers on that final lap of the evening, man. That's a tough break, some tough hits right there as we'll get ready to pull our top 3 up into the broadcast booth for his post-race interview with Dylan Carrier. Waiting patiently here down pit side. Let's pull Dylan up into the broadcast booth here for his post-race interview. And then here I come. We didn't get to that point. We didn't see you there too much in that one, but we'll believe you. We'll believe you. We know you were probably in there. Unfortunately, though, as we'll get ready to pull our race winner, Dylan Carrier, up here into the Peacemaker Gaming broadcast booth here this evening. Let's get ready to pull them up and into the booth. As soon as I find it here, there we go. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up one more time here. Let's see some congratulations. Let's see some thumbs up on the broadcast here for our race winner, Dylan Carrier. Hey, Dylan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy, man. Oof.
Dylan, brother, what a run, what a race. Take us back through it, man. All the different strategy, all the different runs out there on the speedway to set you up for this final run on the night. 15 laps. We see that caution flag come out. We go back to green flag racing. About 10 laps left to go in this race. You're sitting back there. You got some fresh tires on the 88 machine. You got a fast car and some good strategy to get you to that point. You're able to make it work. You and Noah Blackwell work together quickly through some of that traffic into the front of the field, and then from that point on, you run away with the win here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, man. Take us through it, and take us through the emotions you're feeling up here in Victory Lane.
Yeah, man, dude. When I took the white, I was shaking. My anxiety was through the roof. And then as soon as I crossed the line and took the checkered, I started to cry a little bit, and like it's been a rough week, and to get a win, and I needed a win to make the playoffs. I haven't been doing too good, and I felt fast at the beginning of the run. I got out to that lead. I led a little bit, but I think I was burning it up, even though I was running the bottom, and I fell all the way to, I think, 16th at the first stage. Kind of clawed my way back up. I think I finished 13th in the first stage, and then it was playing the save game for the entire race. This track just absolutely eats tires if you're not running it correctly. And they're at the end before that final caution came out, and I pitted super late. I ran it till empty, and I had the freshest tires, and then we were 1, 2, 3 right under a blanket, and I knew that those couple extra laps was going to matter. It was going to matter. Earlier in the run, people had 2 lap fresher tires than me and were just blasting past me like I was sitting still. So I knew I had it late in the run, and then that caution came out, and I got kind of scared. But then, Chris said, Chris started as the leader, and he said he was out of tires and he was running on old tires, and me and Noah were on the top. Noah took 2, and I knew that me and Noah were going to blast past Chris, and that Landon was going to get held up. And I knew Landon was super, super fast on fresh tires. And then I knew Noah was on 2, so I quickly got around him, and then I just played the, smooth and steady. Yeah, they say smooth and steady wins the race.
Absolutely. Well, you definitely were smooth out there in this one as you pull yourself up into victory lane, man. And we saw you there late in this one, stretching that lead out, but you really just kind of had to watch that gap, watch that rear view mirror. Some of those other drivers with the fresh tires kind of got through there, started to work their way up towards you, but they were battling hard there for that third spot for quite a little while. We saw Farrell Robbins and Kevin Winker and a couple of those other drivers battling for position number 3, and I think that really helped you guys out that much more, especially your teammate Noah still being able to come home in third on that 2-tire strat there, as they were kind of battling hard for position number 3 as he was falling back and you were pulling away. Honestly, we saw Farrell Robbins get around him and try to hunt you down, but there was not enough time there for the 76 to try to catch you or anything else, and I think you still had the faster car than him, and I think all you had to do there was just kind of hit your marks, mind your P's and Q's, not make any mistakes there in those closing laps, and that's exactly what you did, and you bring it home and put this M&M's Phoenix Esports ride up here into victory lane, man. Who would you like to thank for such a great run, a strong performance here this evening?
I gotta thank Noah and NJB Designs. I mean, we said this car was cursed when we made it because it's a Kyle Busch paint with a Dale Jr. number, and I was a Dale Jr. fan, and now I'm a Kyle Busch fan since Dale retired. So we kind of said it was a little bit of a cursed car, but I actually give him a huge shout out. Huge shout out to CNA Tool. It's where I work. They've been great to me, and with it's a great place to work. And without those paychecks, I wouldn't be doing this. And a huge shout out to Auto Value. They're also in the car. Gamer Subs and Majors Garage. Majors helps me out and with official setups, and thanks to everybody. And huge shout out to the team owner Jordan Hand. If he wouldn't have kept me calm in those last 10-ish laps, and I don't think I would have won this race. I was getting antsy, and he just kept calming me down, just telling me to run the line, and whew. Man, oh my God, the emotions. I would love to take this car to victory lane, but I blew the engine burning that down. So
Absolutely. Well, the crew will push you up there into victory lane. But, man, a great run, a great drive here for you. It's nice to see you up here in victory lane after, a few good races so far in the series and a few bad runs out there as well.
Ooh,
and knowing that you got the win and you lock yourself into the playoffs, man, how does it feel to have that weight lifted off your shoulders? Knowing that next week, that last race before the playoffs, you don't have to stress about points. You don't have to stress about anything. You've punched your ticket into the show here for the Premium Stock Car Racing League playoffs.
Dude, it feels good. DNFing 7 weeks in a row for things that weren't my fault. Man, I was losing hope. And just this past weekend, after the race we ran last weekend, which I felt super fast there, I just no-lifed officials. I won a few Kansases, a few Degas, and I'm like, I'm going to get back in a groove. And I'm definitely back in a groove. And I'm excited that I don't have to worry now. You're definitely a weight lifted off my shoulders.
Absolutely, brother. Well, there's no better time to get a hot shoe than right before our playoffs get underway. It's good to see up here in the broadcast booth first. It's good to see up here in victory lane. Dylan, congratulations on the win here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And hopefully, as you said, starting to get you into a groove. Maybe we'll see you up here into the broadcast booth more and more and more throughout the rest of the season, and maybe picking up a championship here in a few short weeks.
Hopefully. I got one more shout out. I'm going to point at the camera for this. Shout out to all you fans who come out and support us every week here at PSCRL and Peacemaker.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. I appreciate that. Give him a wave and give him a bow, man, after picking up that win, man. Great run, great win, and we can't wait to see you back up here in the booth next week.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, giving up there to Dylan Carrier. Dylan coming home in position number 1, picking up that win here in this one. As Jimmy 6 times says, where he works for now. Laugh out loud. Oh gosh, laugh out loud for now. For now, he works there. Who knows how long? I mean, knock on wood. Hopefully, he doesn't have to worry about that or stress about that at all. As I'm sure Dylan's not stressing too much right now. He's probably floating on cloud 9 after picking up the win here in this one, as we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher here, Farrell Robbins. Robbins coming home in position number 2. We'll get ready to pull him up here into the broadcast booth after a great run and a great drive there for the number 76 round. We'll get the Baskin-Robbins machine up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Farrell, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yes, I do, Aaron. How you doing?
Not too bad, man. What a run, what a race. Take us back through this one, man, as we saw you get tied up in a couple incidences out there on the speedway, and we saw you make some big moves as well. We saw, obviously, when the 99 ride and the 5 kind of all got together there on the bottom side of 3 and 4. You were able to split the middle there and avoid a big wreck there in I do believe that was stage number 2. And then, from that point on, you kind of just hit your marks, had some good pit stops, kept yourself on the lead lap, and then late in this race, having those fresh tires, getting a couple good lanes, and you find yourself away up here to finish in position number 2.
Yeah, you said hit my marks. That's what did it for me. I wasn't pushing the car, and it brought everybody to me. So no, I was worried about this, Aaron, coming into this race. I really was. And me and my teammate Paul Lacourt, we practiced last night. We figured something out, and of course unfortunately he couldn't make it. I applied it. I actually went 2 laps down. I got those back, and brother, I finished second. I don't get up here too much.
No, and a very up and down day for you, as you said. Going a couple laps down and being able to rebound, keep your your head in the game, keep yourself focused out there. Once again, a couple lucky brinks there with some timely caution flags, getting some waiver rounds and lucky dogs to get you back in here into contention, and to be here at the end, to have that set of tires, have that strategy kind of worked out, just like the 88 ride did, and a few of these other drivers late in this race, having that extra set with 10 laps left to go, really were enough for you to make some moves, make some big runs, and put yourself into position to come home here in second. And who knows, maybe another 5-10 laps, you might have been able to hunt down that 88 ride and maybe put yourself up into victory lane.
Yeah, I mean, I actually passed the 88 a couple times tonight. So yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda. But I'm happy with what I got, and like I said, I don't get up here much. It's fun. Feels good.
Absolutely. Well, that's what we love to hear, man, that you're having fun. It feels good to be up here and that you're having a good time out there on the racetrack. Farrell, congratulations with the great run, the great drive, coming home here in position number 2 this evening. Who would you like to thank for such a great run and great drive here tonight?
Well, I want to thank you, my teammates at Old Dog Racing. Gaston, he couldn't be here. Danny White and Paul Lacourt. But also, if my friends at Sun Meadows, where I live, if they're watching, they watch me once in a while. I wanted to give them a shout out. They're out here running around raising havoc. So, that's pretty much it, Aaron.
Perfect. Well, Farrell, congratulations on the great run. Congratulations on the great drive. It's always good to have you up here in the booth. It's always good to talk to you. So hopefully more and more great finishes like this one and more trips for you up here into the broadcast booth in the future.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and congratulations again on the second place run.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, Farrell Robbins. Farrell coming home there in position number 2. Danny White says, Farrell! Woo! Cheering on his Old Dogs Racing teammate there as Mr. Robbins parks it up here in position number 2 this evening. We'll get ready now to pull in our third place finisher. It is the number 9 ride, Noah Blackwell. Noah going home in position number 3. We'll get ready to pull Egg Roll himself up here into the broadcast booth. As Noah waiting down pit side, we'll get him up here into the booth for his post-race interview. Hey Noah, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Taking a copy?
Yep.
Noah, man, a good run and a good drive here for you, man. A lot of good strategy between yourself and your teammate, Dylan Carrier, and it works out perfectly as you're able to come home in position number 3. But you see your teammate pick up that big win here this evening.
Yeah, I'm super proud of Dylan because he needs it to get in the playoffs, and I wanted it. I wanted it so bad, but on the last pit stop, I had to gamble with 2 tires because I wanted the track position and get the top 3, and all that happened. And when I saw Stange on the bottom, I knew that we pretty much had it in the bag and Dylan was going to win the race because Stange was on old tires. So let us go because Landon and Aiden, I think, were behind stage, so it just let us. Those are like the two fastest cars, so it let us just go right on past. I almost had trouble, but then that wreck on the last lap came and saved me because I wouldn't have gotten a top 3. But yeah, I had fun. I don't know how I got pole, but I learned something in our practice sessions with the coming off the wall in turn 4 and 2. So that was good. That was a point. I need the points because I'm outside the playoffs right now. I need the win, but I mean, we're gonna get there eventually. If Dylan can win, I can win. I just need to put my mind to it. But I'm really proud of Dylan. Really proud of Farrell. Farrell did an amazing job. He's just a wonderful guy. Everyone loves Farrell. Dylan, he deserves it. He's been going through a lot recently. I'm so proud of him. And that car, the M&M car too. It's just so good. Yeah. And then top 3 for NJB cars. I don't know if I can say the full thing on the broadcast. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Top 3 for all those. Top 3 for all those, which is amazing. Great exposure. I'm proud of everyone. Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Absolutely, man. A lot of fun, and that's exactly what we like to hear. Is drivers out there having a good time, having some fun here on the simulator. And obviously, it's always a little bit more fun, especially when you can finish off the night with a solid top 3 run and being able to jump up here into the broadcast booth. But Noah, you had a couple of good runs there in this race. Besides, you lead some laps yourself. That 2-tire pit stop late in this one. Did you only have 2 tires back there, or was the 4-tire call just not on the table for you, or what was the game plan there with that final restart and the 2-tire pit strategy?
So Jordan, he said for Dylan to take 4. So I was like, okay, well I can, because I'm in there in the chat. I'm like, I can leapfrog now. So I took right sides. I was a little iffy on it because Charlotte only taking 2 right sides. It's a little iffy, but it was actually really good because the left side's the left front is saved, but the left rear is what's the bad part, and which I should have taken 4 tires, but I mean, I needed all I could get, but I could have taken 4. I had an extra set. I had the set to do it, but I just decided not to because I wanted top 3 for the points, obviously, and I missed this. I miss being up here.
Absolutely. Well, a bit of a strategy. It kind of pays out for you as you're able to still bring it home in position number 3, man, after a great run and a solid performance all night long here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Noah, who would you like to thank for such a great performance out there on the racetrack?
I'd like to thank Hannah, my grandparents, my Nana. They allowed me to do this. NJBdesigns.com. Get yourself a paint. We got a Halloween race coming up, so I'm gonna probably throw a couple of deals together for that. Be on the lookout for breast cancer awareness banners. We're gonna have pink spoilers, pink bumpers for that, show awareness for people who choose to run them. And yeah. Oh, thank you.
Beauty. Well,
So much for
Noah,
letting me have the time
great
to speak
run.
here.
Great drive here this evening as you pull yourself up here onto the broadcast booth and up onto the podium for the race. And man, a great run, great performance, great drive for you. Hopefully that's the momentum and the luck change that you need here in the series, and maybe more and more trips up here into the booth.
Need that win. Need that win.
Absolutely, brother. Well, I know we only got 1 or 2 more races left here before the playoffs, so it's got to come soon, or else you may just be playing playoff spoiler here this year. So hopefully we can see you up here in the booth real soon.
I could be a Ross Chastain.
There you go. Perfect. Noah, enjoy the 3rd place run here this evening, and we look forward to seeing you back up here in the booth here in the future.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our 3rd place finisher, Noah Blackwell. As Blackwell coming home there in position number 3. A great run and a great drive there for the number 9 run as he parks it there in that 3rd spot on the speedway, man. A great run and a great performance by all of these drivers, all of these competitors all night long, man, putting on one heck of a show, one heck of a race for us, man. That was a ton of fun and a lot of great action out there on the speedway. If you guys enjoyed that racing action and you haven't already, please make sure you guys do us a favor. Smash that like button on the broadcast. Hit that share. Hit that follow. Hit that subscribe button if you're not yet part of the Peacemaker family, as we look to continue to grow each and every single one of these races. And every single day we want to grow more and more and more, as we will be back live again tomorrow as well. We'll be back live tomorrow.